So by now, most of us have heard that almost 3 million voters in Alberta had their personal information, their names, their home addresses, their phone numbers, illegally shared, allegedly by a political party called the Republican Party of Alberta, with a fringe separatist group called the Centurion Project. That project is headed by David Parker, who you might remember from Take Back Alberta fame. He's also the one who's close friends with Danielle Smith and helped get Jason Kenney booted from the leadership of the UCP and Danielle Smith elected for that role. So this is a really big concern for anybody to have their personal information shared like this, particularly if you're somebody who's vulnerable, like a survivor of domestic violence, people who are in the public eye, who are worried about their safety. But every Albertan should be concerned that their personal information was improperly shared with a separatist fringe group. Here's what you need to know today. So that information came to light about this data breach, one of the largest data breaches in Canadian history, late last week. But what we now know is that a complaint was made almost a month earlier by a member of the media who became aware of this, and Elections Alberta was notified about this potential breach, and they said they didn't have the powers under legislation that was recently amended by the UCP to actually do an investigation. 2 weeks later, on April 16th, the Centurion Project held a meeting where they walked people through how to create an account and access the personal information of anybody on their voters list. As an example in that meeting, they put up the personal information and the home address of Jason Kenney just to show how easy it was to access information for anybody on the voters list. Also present at that meeting, this is the important part, was the UCP caucus staff, senior staff. As well, we know that Mitch Sylvestre, the leader of the Stay Free separatist petition movement, and also a UCP party president, he also was aware that this had happened and that it was an illegal use of personal information. But what's important to know is that the UCP did nothing about it. So for another 2 weeks, your personal information was publicly available to anybody who created an account with the separatist group to look up where you live and what your phone number was. For 2 weeks, the UCP chose to take no action at all to protect the personal information of Albertans. That is the most troubling part of all. The Alberta NDP became aware of this potential breach at the exact same time, April 16th, and that was reported to RCMP first thing in the morning, April 17th. That's what we did, because we know that protecting Albertans' personal information is of the utmost importance. But what you need to know is that your government not only sent staff to this separatist meeting, but they knew that information, your personal information, was being shared amongst people who should not have had access to it, and they did nothing about it.